We are back with Oprah, who is living her best life right now, and always.
For
After
real.
decades of struggling with her weight, the TV icon says it all changed with one aha moment.
Yeah, she talks about it in her new book, Enough, Your Health, Your Weight, and What It's Like to Be Free. We're going to chat all about that in just a minute, but first, more on Oprah's journey. As long as she's been in the public eye, Oprah Winfrey has been open about her struggle with weight. For 25 years, she brought viewers along on her journey of dieting, determination, and doubt.
I don't know if there is another public person whose weight struggle has been exploited as much as mine over the years.
Now, after years of self-blame, science and research have led Oprah to a new understanding. Obesity is a chronic disease, not a personal failure.
2/3 of Americans and half of the world population did not wake up one morning and decide to have obesity.
In her new book, Enough, Your Health, Your Weight, and What It's Like to Be Free, Oprah teams up with renowned physician scientist Ania Jastreboff to challenge long-held beliefs about weight and to peel back the shame that has surrounded it and her for too long. Just weeks shy of her 72nd birthday, Oprah says this has set her free. She says freedom didn't come from just change. It came from understanding the whole picture. As she writes, no amount of success, money, fame, or intelligence is a match for biology. Now, for her very first solo live broadcast interview since the release of the book, Oprah is here to share the whole picture with us.
That was good.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That was good.
So, freedom is in the title of this book, and you write in it that it's taken you half of your life to reach this moment. What does that look like to you day in and day out, that freedom?
It looks like I'm not waking up and the first thing I'm thinking about is how much do I weigh? It looks like I'm not thinking about what am I going to eat for breakfast, and if I ate something for breakfast, now I can't eat a lunch or I'm going to skip a meal. It looks like the noise in my head that I think most people who have obesity have experienced, that food noise that we didn't know everybody else was having it. And I certainly didn't know that people who don't have obesity don't have it. So if you're listening to me now and you don't know what I'm talking about, then you probably don't have it.
Yeah.
But if you're listening and you're going, oh my God, that happens to me too, where you're literally standing in front of the refrigerator and thinking about what you're going to eat next, or that
I think about tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
Or you're planning your meal for Thanksgiving, you know, a week before, and thinking about, am I going to eat too much and how am I going to get that off? The constant noise has subsided. So that is what has been transformational for me. And the new freedom is understanding that all those years that I suffered and was on the tabloids every week and made fun of and was the butt of everybody's jokes, and I thought it was because of my lack of willpower. What is wrong with me that I can be successful in so many ways and I can't conquer this thing? Now I know that it has nothing to do with willpower. It has everything to do with your biology.
Yeah, on that note, tell me this. I was thinking about this last night. Almost in the same way that now we talk about mental health. It feels like we're evolving, if you will. I remember back in the day, if you had anxiety, depression, you had to shake it off. You had to pray about it. Just be strong, right?
Yeah.
And now we realize, and my kids, they know, saying therapy is no big deal. You know, everybody's a therapist. So is the hope that maybe we can do that with,
we will get there.
Food?
We're going to get there.
But we're not there yet.
We're not there yet, and this book is a part of the pioneering of that and allowing people to literally get the message. And I know in the beginning when you're first trying to offer the message, people are like, no, because I remember back in the day when I first started the Oprah show in 86, 87, we did our first show on alcoholism. And people in the audience were like, oh, just put the bottle down. People did not refused to recognize that alcoholism is a disease. And so now we're saying the same thing about obesity. It's a disease. It's a chronic disease. You have to manage it. And even when you think you've gotten to your goal weight, it's not the answer because you are what the medications do is manage the set point in your body. And so I was off of the medications all last year, and I gained 20 pounds because I wanted to test it. Because everybody was saying, you're going to gain the weight, and I'm going to show them they're not going to gain the weight. I'm going to hike, I'm going to do it.
So you were taking it and then you got off of it.
And then I was taking it, then I got off of it, And then I gained 3 pounds, and I gained 5 pounds, and I gained 10 pounds, and before you know it.
But also, you write about this, you gained the pounds, but more than that, the noise was back.
The noise was back. The noise of where you're just standing there looking at the refrigerator and what can I eat, what can I eat? And so I was trying to eat more healthily, but still put the weight back on. So that's the thing. It's the same as if you're on, and I know you're going to talk to Dr. Ania later, but if you're on blood pressure medication,
yes,
which a lot of people are on blood pressure medication, if you stop your blood pressure medication, your blood pressure is going to go up. The same thing is true with this medication.
Let's go. I feel like many of us, all of us, and I don't think you necessarily have to have obesity to have this, have those shame moments.
Yeah.
Where somebody says something to you and it sticks. And then when you're talking badly to yourself later, you're saying those words. You had a moment with your dad.
Yeah. And you know what? I didn't realize until many years later that that was the moment for me. I was in the hallway, I had gotten on a scale, and my dad came by as I was standing on the scale and said, there's no need for you to weigh yourself because you're always gonna be big. And I was like, what? He goes, your mama's big, your aunt's big, I had them all on the back of my Buick. I couldn't even put off my Buick because they were weighing down the back of my Buick. And I was embarrassed in that moment, but I didn't realize until many years later because it stuck. And every time I'd go on another diet, I'd hear that, you're always going to be big. You're always going to be big. You're always going to be big. And also, just like I did last year, trying to prove the scientists wrong, I'm like, I'm going to prove him wrong.
Yeah.
Willpower.
Well, I was going to say, do you still hear it?
I don't hear it anymore because I know that, first of all, he was right. I would always be big because I have the biology to make myself, that would allow myself to become obese. And so with the medications, I'm able to.
We are going to talk about the book next. I will say there are so many men and women who relate to what you're saying. And even last night when I sat down to start reading the book, as soon as you open the book, and people will find this, I highlighted it. You say, may you find peace with the knowledge that obesity is not your fault.
It's not your fault.
If we can
That's
start
the
there.
freedom I feel.
Absolutely.
That's the freedom I feel.
Yeah,
that
all
it's
right.
no longer my fault.
Not your fault. We have much more with Oprah coming up. Her co-author, Dr. Ania Jastreboff, joins us for the conversation with a deeper dive into weight loss medications, how they work, and if they're right for you. That's right after this.
Millions of people in this country struggle with obesity. Now, weight loss medications are providing options for those who have struggled to lose weight their entire lives.
But what are these GLP-1 meds and how do they work? So back with us now to discuss, we have Oprah Winfrey, and joining the conversation is endocrinologist and associate professor at the Yale School of Medicine, Dr. Ania Jastreboff. They teamed up to write this book. It's called Enough, Your Health, Your Weight, and what it's like to be free.
It's the perfect title. Okay, so Oprah, let's start with you again. When you think back about all of the time spent journaling, self-hatred, talking to yourself, blaming yourself, all the shame, all of that time, for people at home who are thinking, wait, that's me. And what do you think about that time?
I would like to say to the people at home, that is the reason why I'm out here in these streets.
Right.
Okay? The reason I'm out here in these today's streets, Sheinelle and Jenna, is because I want you all to not continue to waste the time. And I want people to understand it's not your fault.
Yes.
You cannot solve this with willpower, because the truth is, if you could have solved it with willpower,
you would have.
Those of us who have the willpower would have done it.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
So then let's dig into the book here. What do you mean by enough?
Yeah, so enough really comes to the enough point.
Yes.
Which Oprah has talked about and has talked about recently in terms of that is where her body always wanted to be. And the enough point is really how much energy, how much fuel, how much fat your body wants you to store. And it fights no matter what to try and get you to that.
So what if your enough point is bigger than you want to be, but that's where your body naturally
does.
Right, so then how do you...
That's the case. As I said, my enough point, every time I went on a diet, I was usually around 211, between 211 and 218. And so when I pulled out that wagon of fat so many years ago, I was 211 when I started that. When I started to run the marathon, same thing. So my enough point is far higher than where I really want it to be. And I think for a lot of people who don't have obesity, their enough or set point is much lower.
It's much lower. And the idea for the book, the title Enough, came to me one morning. I woke up and I ran down the stairs and I literally wrote it down on a Post-it note. I was so excited. And the reason why is because it really captures what happens when Oprah takes the medicine, she feels she has enough. People who have obesity, their brain, which sets the enough point, is constantly pulling them up, and they don't feel like they have enough. And the title also means something else. Enough blame and shame.
Enough is enough.
Why are we blaming people for a disease that is not their fault, that is not their choice? And so that's why the title just fit so perfectly.
So if anybody's watching right now and has obesity, you know how you continue to eat even though you're full, or you've had enough, but it's still on the plate, so you're going to continue to eat because you grew up in the clean plate club.
So do you not do that?
That stops with the medication.
And
I used to have two English muffins every morning, and I'd do one with honey, and I'd do one with jam, and I'd do one with an egg, and then bacon on the other side. Now I can do one or a half of one.
So you're just not hungry?
You've had enough.
But let's talk about that. Let's talk about the GLP-1s or the obesity medicine, as you call them. And what happens when you go off? I mean, and I love that you tested it.
I was going to prove her wrong. Because I was saying, well, no, I'm hiking, now I've added 7 miles and I'm doing this. She says, I don't know. I think you're going to have an issue. And I think, no. And then it suddenly came back.
Because it's biological, right?
It's biology. It's about biology. And I don't know anyone that has more grit than Oprah. I mean, she's hiking 6, 7, 8 miles a day.
Wildly
she's
disciplined.
Perfectly, wildly disciplined, wildly. And she really exemplifies this enough point and how she kept on being pulled up. The medicines, what they do, the way that they work is that they recalibrate. They lower your enough point so that your brain is like, hey, body, you are not starving. You do not need to eat more. You have enough fuel. You have enough fat. You have enough. And that is why one muffin or half a muffin, English muffin, is enough.
Are there side effects? I'm sure people are watching. It's probably not for everybody. What do we need to know?
The medicine.
And also for side effects.
Yeah, I mean, every medicine for any disease has side effects. That's the first thing. So there's always a risk to benefit ratio for every person. So they're not right for everybody. But what are the common side effects? And there are many ways to mitigate them, to lower the chance of them. So the most common side effects are nausea, diarrhea, constipation. The best way...
I never had nausea or diarrhea, but I did have the third one.
And hydration is so important.
But there's ways to mitigate that.
I finally figured out for me what the right combination of magnesium and water is. I have to drink
a lot of water.
A lot of water.
Like how much water? I'm always curious.
I have to have a gallon of water a day. A gallon of water a day.
I've been getting all day. Luckily, we have our new mugs.
Her kidneys
Would you
are
like
so
a
happy.
mug? Some of your water?
I have to drink a gallon of water if I do less. And I have to drink a gallon of water before 4 o'clock. Otherwise, Otherwise, I'm up all night. Well, it's going to be rough because it's hard today.
And Oprah's kidneys are very, very happy. Hydration is one of the best ways to mitigate nausea or to lessen nausea. There are other ways. The most important way is working with your healthcare provider and going up very, very slowly. So start low, go slow. If you're feeling nauseated, then don't increase the dose. And there's other things, not eating past the point of fullness, making sure you're monitoring which foods could make you worse. All of these different things can lower the side effects.
I just want to say for everybody who wants to ask the question, do you stay on it? If you're on blood pressure medication, if you're on diabetes medication or any other medication for a chronic disease, this is a chronic disease. If you're on blood pressure medication, you get your blood pressure to the level that your doctor says is healthy for you. You come off of that medication, your blood pressure is going to go
back up.
The same thing is true for this.
That's right.
I know it because I proved it.
We're really having to rewire how we think about it.
Yes. And I think I look at it as a tool to help me manage my entire health.
And by the way, your health, you hike something like 8 miles. If you
No, I did 10 miles over the holidays for
I mean,
straight
look,
up and down. Yes.
you
yes.
hike like
incredible.
crazy. You're lifting,
Yes,
which I
I'm
think is
deadlifting,
important
yeah.
for women.
Resistance training is really important as you get older.
Yes.
For your for muscle tone.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many people who, you know, you talk about hiking, and when you do something, people are here for it, right? And there are a lot of people, I can't walk, I can't do this. What is it about hiking, because you talk a lot about it, that you love, that maybe someone at home watching can say, you know what, let me give it a try?
Well, the reason why I love hiking so much, I love that question. The reason why I love hiking so much is because you're looking up at the top of the hill. And this is what happened when I had gotten my knees done. I would just look out the window because I couldn't walk. Thank God, I would like to get to the top of that hill. But you're looking at the top of that hill, and this is what I love about it. Don't look at how far you have to go.
Yes.
Every step you take, turn around and look at how far you've come. Look at how far you've come. Look at how far you've come. You get halfway there and you look at how far you've come. That gives you the fuel and the strength to keep yourself going. And that's a great metaphor for life.
Yes.
Don't look at how far you have to go. Look at how far you've come.
By the way,
Love it.
I heard Oprah say that, I think, on Instagram or something, and I quoted it last week.
I love it.
It's
I love
beautiful.
it.
That's a sermon.
I know. Thank you so much for being here in this beautiful book that's going
I'm
to help
so happy
many.
to be here on your second day.
Let's go. I don't know how we're going to go up from here.
Oh, you will.
But
you
we'll
will.
try.
You
Dr.
will.
Ania, and thank you as well. She's sticking around. She's going to talk about some common myths and concerns surrounding weight loss medications. You guys.
The power couple.
Thank you.